What is up, 5th grade explorers? Welcome to today's epic explainer adventure. I am absolutely pumped you're here. Today, we're going on a massive top-to-bottom journey all about our incredible planet. We're going to travel from the very edge of outer space all the way down deep into the dirt and rock right beneath your toes. Are you ready? Let's go.
Okay, so I want you to start by imagining something completely wild. What if the solid ground beneath your feet is actually moving right now? Imagine the floor shifting slowly, kind of like giant puzzle pieces. And what if, when you look up at the empty sky, you're actually looking at a massive 5-layer invisible shield protecting us from outer space? It sounds like a crazy sci-fi movie, but it is 100% real.
So, on this explainer journey, we are about to uncover some mind-blowing secrets of planet Earth that most people walk past every single day without even realizing. We're going to learn exactly how the sky works, we're going to travel way back in time, and we're going to dig super deep underground.
Here is our exploration map for the day. 1. Earth's invisible sky layers. 2. The mystery of Pangaea. 3. The giant moving puzzle. 4. Earthquakes and volcanoes explained. And 5. Our Earth journey recap. All right, let's dive in. Section 1. Earth's invisible sky layers. For Act 1 of our adventure, I want you to look straight up into the sky. To us, it just looks like empty blue air with some fluffy clouds, right? But the Earth's atmosphere is actually divided into 5 distinct layers based on altitude, which is really just a fancy way of saying how high up they are from the ground. Starting from the surface and going all the way up, we have the troposphere, the stratosphere, the mesosphere, the thermosphere, and finally the exosphere, right at the edge of space. Each layer is totally unique.
Let's make our first stop right here in the troposphere. This is the bottom layer where you and I live right now. The air here is the thickest, which means there's plenty of oxygen for us to breathe. Whenever you feel rain on your face or see snow falling, or hey, if you ever get to ride in a hot air balloon, you are hanging out right here in the troposphere. Literally all of our weather happens in this exact layer.
But what if we go way, way higher? Get ready for a totally mind-blowing fun fact. If you travel way up through the stratosphere and the mesosphere, you reach the thermosphere. This layer is so incredibly high up, far above where normal airplanes can fly, that actual space shuttles orbit the Earth here. Just imagine looking at the window of a space shuttle, floating around in the thermosphere, and looking back down at our giant planet. Pretty amazing, right?
Section 2. The mystery of Pangaea.
All right, explorers, grab your time machines because we're zooming back down to the ground and traveling way, way back in time. 250 million. That's how many years ago we're traveling to right now. Back then, our world looked completely and totally different than the maps hanging in your classrooms today. There definitely weren't 7 separate continents divided by huge oceans. Instead, we had this, Pangaea. All the major landmasses of the Earth were literally squished together into one single giant, supersized continent. In fact, the word Pangaea comes from Greek, and it means all Earth. Just imagine being able to walk from where you live right now to any other place in the entire world without ever having to cross an ocean. Crazy, right? So, how do we actually know this? Well, back in the 20th century, a super curious scientist named Alfred Wegener was staring at some maps. He noticed that the continents looked kind of like puzzle pieces that could perfectly fit together. So he asked a really brilliant question. What if the continents move? Now, people thought it was a completely crazy idea at first. But you know what? Wegener was right. He came up with a theory that explained exactly how that giant supercontinent of Pangaea broke up. Over a super long period of time, the landmasses drifted apart, floating away from each other just like giant puzzle pieces. This slow, continual movement of the land is called continental drift, and that's exactly how we got the 7 continents we know today.
Section 3. The giant moving puzzle.
Okay, so we know the continents drifted apart. But how? To answer that, we gotta put away our time machines and grab our shovels to dig deep underground. You see, the Earth isn't just one solid, perfectly still rock. Deep beneath the dirt, the hard outer part of Earth, which is made of the crust and the outer mantle, is actually broken. It's cracked into these giant, constantly moving pieces called tectonic plates. The land masses we live on aren't stuck in one place. They're actually riding on top of these moving plates, getting pushed around by massive forces deep inside the Earth. Now you might be wondering, hey, if all this wild stuff is happening underground, why don't we just dig a really big hole and look at it? Well, the deepest man-made hole in the entire world is a mine in South Africa.
People dug down 3.9 kilometers into the ground. That is ridiculously deep.
But here's the crazy part. A 3.9-kilometer hole is just a tiny, tiny scratch compared to the massive size of the Earth. Even our deepest minds barely touch the true surface of the planet. Most of the heavy lifting that moves these giant tectonic plates happens way, way deeper than we have ever been able to dig.
Section 4. Earthquakes and Volcanoes Explained.
Since we have these giant puzzle pieces shifting and sliding deep underground, what actually happens up here on the surface where we live? What happens when these tectonic plates bump into each other, slide past one another, or pull apart? Well, these plates meet at boundaries called fault lines. I want you to try rubbing your hands together really, really hard. Do you feel that heat and friction? Now imagine giant slabs of solid rock the size of continents doing that.
First, we gotta bust a massive myth. The myth is that Earth's surface is completely still and never ever changes. But the reality is that these tectonic plates are always moving, slowly but surely. They are constantly shaping the world, every single day, right beneath our feet.
When the plates move and bump up against each other at those fault lines, it causes some seriously wild action. All this activity below the Earth's crust can cause massive earthquakes that literally shake the ground. It can make volcanoes erupt, and over millions of years, plates crashing together can even push the land upward to form huge, towering mountains. The Earth is literally building itself. Section 5. Our Earth Journey Recap.
Wow, we have covered so much ground and sky today. Let's do a quick recap of what you brilliant explorers discovered. Step 1. We explored the 5 invisible sky layers based on altitude, from the troposphere where our weather happens, all the way up to the thermosphere where space shuttles fly. Step 2. We traveled back 250 million years and discovered Pangaea, the supercontinent that drifted apart like puzzle pieces. And Step 3. We dug down to learn that moving tectonic plates at fault lines are actually what shake the Earth with earthquakes and build giant volcanoes.
Before we go, I want to leave you with one final thought to really spark your imagination. What would it be like if all the continents were still joined together as Pangaea today? Just imagine taking a quick train ride from South America directly into Africa, or driving a car from Antarctica all the way up to North America. How totally different would our cultures, our animals, and our weather be? It's amazing to think about.
Always keep asking big questions, explorers. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer adventure today. If you love learning about our incredible planet, make sure you keep exploring. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and follow for more awesome journeys where we make sense of our amazing world. See you next time, explorers!